What's up, filmmaker friends? Are you in the market for a camera cart, but you're not sure which one to get? Today, we're looking at the Proaim Atlas V2 camera cart, and I think you're going to be excited with some of the things I have to say about it. After working with this cart for a few months and previously working with the Innovativ and some of the other carts that are on the market out there, I want to share with you what I think that this cart is, what it isn't, its capabilities, the things that kind of hold it back versus some of the other carts, essentially all the pros and cons. We're also going to go over all the accessories that I purchased for this cart. I'm going to give you the recommendations of the ones that I think you should get immediately and some of the ones that you think you could probably hold off on. Now, before we dive into the specs of this cart, I want to say that I do have another cart here for reference. This is the Inovativ 42-inch Voyager, and this is a pretty standard camera cart on set. So I brought this one. It's not to knock this cart or to compare it side by side. It's just to give you kind of a rough guide of what a standard cart looks like and what this one looks like next to that one. Let's go over some quick specs on this camera cart. The Atlas V2 comes in a 30-inch, a 38-inch, and a 48-inch. This here is the 38-inch, and it has a load capacity of 1,100 pounds. It comes in at a price point of $2,100. The 38-inch packs down to a nice compact 7-inch case, and it weighs in at about 115 pounds. Now, it's not the easiest thing in the world to carry around by yourself. It's 115 pounds. Easily 2 people can get it. I put it in the back of my 4Runner, for example. With 2 people, you can lift it up, push it up. You can also lift up one front end of it, put it on the back side, and then get to the other side and lift it up. I haven't had any issues with that, with the weight or anything, but I did want to say it is a little bit heavier of a cart. So what comes in the box? As you can see, I got a bunch of accessories on this cart. Now all this stuff comes with the cart. So you're going to get the top shelf, the bottom shelf, there's 4 supporting rods, these 2 support braces, and you're going to get these pneumatic tires that are 10 inches. They're pretty beefy and they're really, really nice. I'm really happy with this tire size and this choice for this cart. So that's it for some of the quick specs on this thing. Let me explain why I bought this camera cart. First of all, the price point. Right around $2,000 for a cart was about the max that I wanted to spend for what I use it for. Now, that being said, this thing has been absolutely invaluable to me. Loading this up with camera gear, using it for an audio cart, using it for a camera cart, putting our lighting equipment on there, this thing has done everything. It's a fantastic cart and it's done very, very well for me. So what kind of work do? I work mainly as a producer, sound guy, and a cinematographer. So I hold camera, I hold sound stuff, and I also produce. So this covers a wide range of any needs that I have. I can put Pelicans on it, I can put my sound bag on top of it, I can put my camera up here and break it down, take it apart. So this does pretty much everything that I needed to do on its own. Now, previously before this, I was mainly working off of an onstage utility cart with a top shelf on it. That was really nice because it expanded really far, it got really small, but it didn't seem like it was extremely stable. And when I started loading it up with weight with the top shelf on it, I noticed that there was some problems. For what that cart does, I still use it to carry extra Pelican cases or lighting equipment. This has been far superior in terms of on-set working as a workstation for myself. So now let's talk about the Inovativ Voyager, since this is a real common camera cart on set. I have a lot of experience working with this cart. A lot of my friends use it on set, so I do know what this cart is all about. Now, the first thing I want to mention about this cart is it is expensive. So it starts off base price $3,700. So it is a more expensive cart. I do want to say, like, all the accessories and all the add-ons that you get from Innovativ are also extremely expensive. They seem to be about double the price of what you would pay for something similar from Proaim. So I do want to talk about the construction of this cart, the Inovativ Voyager 42-inch. This thing is not super stable. It seems to be made out of like mostly plastic. The arms are not really locking in. I don't know if it's this specific model, but this was one of the biggest things that deterred me from wanting to purchase this cart for myself. So now this cart is much lighter than the Proaim Atlas V2. This comes in right around 75 pounds. It has a load capacity of 750 pounds, but it is split between the 2 shelves. So it's 650 on the bottom and 100 pounds on the top, which was another thing that drew me away from wanting to purchase this cart, because I like to put a lot of stuff on the top of the cart. So 100 pounds is a lot for just camera, maybe DIT stuff, or maybe just your audio bag, but you want to start loading this thing up and using it as a cart to also carry in onto set with all your lighting equipment, all that good stuff, etc. It's not ideal for that situation. I just got off a job, and we had a couple Innovativ carts that my friends had, And then I had my cart, the Proaim Atlas V2, and we ended up primarily working off of this cart because we're able to put our easy rig on here, we're able to put the camera on here, sound bag, all of our Pelicans, and this thing was able to maneuver and get around really nice and easily through all the doors. We were inside a laboratory one day, we were inside a factory another day, and this thing just got around perfectly. It was an excellent choice for us, and everyone was very glad that I brought this onto set. Some of the big benefits of this cart and why I think it's a good choice for you is, first of all, the price point. Second of all, the portability of this cart. It's pretty easy to break down. It takes about 2 to 5 minutes. With one person, it's about 5 minutes. With two people, you get it done in about 2 to 3 minutes. Proaim advertises that this cart does fit into a standard size sedan. I haven't tried doing that, but I do put it in the back of my SUV all the time, and I can see that it would probably fit inside of a standard size sedan. The wheels do come off, and you can put them inside of the cart when you fold it up. I don't usually do that. I usually keep the wheels on and just roll it up on the back of my SUV. The next thing is the stability of this cart. This thing is super rock solid stable. When you're going up hills, going down a ramp on a truck, this thing is fantastic. Proaim also states that this fits into standard size doorways, and I can attest to that. This cart does maneuver just fine inside a standard size doorway, and you're not gonna have any problems there, less any attachments that you put on the side of this cart. Speaking of accessories, the next big benefit that I want to highlight is the versatility of this cart. Now, in terms of accessories, most of these accessories come in at a very affordable price point, especially in the camera cart world. You could put C-stands on this thing. You can put more C-stands on this side. You can also put an AC stand on this, a baby pin adapter. There's also an umbrella that goes on this cart. There are tons of ways that you can customize your cart to fit your needs. The accessories that I have is a C-stand holder that goes on the side of the cart. I think you can get up to 8 C-stands onto this. I've had up to 6. After that, it kind of gets a little precarious. I have the arms that go on the side here. Typically, we'll put like stingers or things like that on this, but you can lay C-stands across here if you need to. I have laid my boom pole, for example, on the side here. The next key accessory, of course, is the cup holder. One thing I want to mention about this cup holder is it only really fits cans, 12-ounce, 8-ounce cans. It doesn't really fit anything much larger than that, so that's going to be a big drawback. The other thing is when you put this onto the support arms, it's not that stable and it can pop out a little too easily for my comfort, especially when you have a bunch of electronics on the cart. I can see somebody walking by and bumping into this and knocking off your drink, and then maybe you have something kind of laying around that you don't want to get water or liquid on, and then it's going to be a pretty sad day. I also have the Easy Rig holder. So this is a really cool attachment for your Easy Rig. You attach it to the back of your Easy Rig, and then it just kind of slits on here, and you can attach it right on the side of your cart, any corner that you want to put it on, and just hang your Easy Rig. It's really, really nice and cool. I definitely recommend getting one of these. I also have the AC tray. This tray has been really, really useful for me. Typically we'll put, you know, for when I'm running sound, I'll put all my extra lav stuff on here, just keep it out of the way so people can access the top of the cart. Usually we're sharing carts on set, things like that. But if you want to put this onto a stand for an AC, this is a great thing just to have around. The next accessory I have is this baby pin adapter that goes onto one of the support arms on the side here. So it's just your standard baby pin that you can put on the side and move around any way that you want to. I also had this made. This is a adapter for a Ronin RS4. You can just slide it in here. This was actually done on Etsy, and I thought this was really cool. The last adapter that I have is this tray here that goes on the side, and we use this for putting all of our bits and bobs, things of that nature when we're on set, just to keep them out of the way. Another accessory that I have is this Proaim baby pin that just bolts onto the side here. I wanted something a little bit more rock solid than this baby pin here. It's a little shaky and wobbly when you start putting weight on it. So this one actually bolts into the side of the cart. It doesn't fit perfectly out of the box in here. I had to drill one of the holes, one of the 1/4 holes to be a little bit bigger to fit this in here, but I'm totally okay with losing that hole to have this extra support bracket. So let's go over the accessories that I think that you should get based on my experience with these accessories. First of all, I would get one of these C-stand holders that go on the front or the back of the cart. This thing has been absolutely invaluable to me, so definitely think one of those. These here are fantastic for hanging your cables or C-stands on the side. If I had to pick between the two of these, I would pick the C-stand holder that goes on the front just so you can easily get in and out of doorways. If you have an easy rig, I would 100% would get one of these. These are just super cheap, and they're very, very nice to have to hang your easy rigs through, not just laying it on the cart. A lot of times these things are kind of like thrown on top of the cart or on the ground, and this just keeps it in a nice safe spot. And I'm really happy that I got this one. So the next thing I would recommend is probably the AC tray. And the reason why is because it's only $100. And I mean, just having that extra space to put little tiny things that you want to keep out of the way, batteries or whatever. This is just really, really great to have for the price. So not 100% necessary, but for $100, I think you can't go wrong to get one of these. The next accessory I want to talk about is the baby pin adapters. If I had to choose between the two of these, I think I would go with the Proaim bolt-on version. Like I said, there is a little bit of customization that has to happen to get this to fit, but I think it's totally worth it to have a much more stable baby pin adapter. I do put a baby pin adapter to 1/4 on here with a dovetail plate on top to set my camera on and just kind of lock it in and keep it out of the way most of the time. Or you could put client monitor, things like that on here. This baby pin adapter is fantastic, but like I said, it's just when you put weight on it, it gets a little wobbly and shaky, and that makes me nervous. It's probably fine and probably gonna be okay, especially if the cart's locked down somewhere. But the other thing is this is also gonna be sticking out of the side of your cart most of the time. You gotta get through doorways, you wanna be super mobile and agile. This is probably gonna get in the way. Now the tray that goes on the side, I do think is probably a really good buy for you as well. It's just a nice place to put your keys or any other accessories that you have in your camera cart when you want to get them out of the way and use this workspace to do one thing at a time. So just to go over some of the customizations that I made to this, once again, this Proaim baby pin adapter, I did have to drill out one of the holes to get the 1/4 screws to fit through. The next thing is I had this made on Etsy, and this is just so you could put a Ronin RS4 in here and use that to kind of set your Ronin off to the side and have a nice place to put it instead of setting it up on top of the cart or laying it down on its side. The next customization that I made is I put this 1/4 stud. This is by Flashpoint, but Coupe also makes them on the side of my cart here. Just gives you a nice way to kind of put another baby pin on the side of your cart if you want to get an L bracket to put on it. I have one of those as well, just to give you one extra baby pin on the side. So who is this camera cart for? This is for the solo shooter, mid-sized productions. I even think this can handle bigger productions. You can use this as a sound cart. You can use this as a DIT cart. I think the options are kind of endless with this cart. So it's pretty much for anybody who's going to be on set that needs a little workspace for themselves. That's nice and comfortable and easy to pack away. I do want to say a caveat to that is this is 115 pounds, so you have to be pretty strong to be able to lift this by yourself onto your car, so you may need some help doing that. It does break down nicely to be able to fit inside a sedan or an SUV, but it might be just a tad too heavy to do by yourself. In which case, if you need something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, you might be looking at something like the new small rig cart, or maybe even this Innovativ cart, and you're gonna sacrifice some of that stability for that. So I'm just gonna keep it real with you. If I was you and I had to choose one of these two, I would definitely go with this cart here, the Proaim Atlas V2. It's just a more affordable cart. Accessories are much more attainable, much more affordable, and the stability and portability of this cart is just unmatched. So if I had to pick one of these, this is what I would pick. If you pick this, that's okay. I don't really care, but this is the one that I think that is better for what I do, and probably most of what anybody who's watching this would do. Some of the drawbacks that I see with this cart are that it might not be as modular as some of the Innovativ stuff. They just have a wide variety for a large scope of people who work in this industry of attachments that you can put on this, but for the most part, you're gonna be able to get everything that you need to get done if you're a mid-sized or lower production. If you need something that's a little bit more specialty, such as an audio cart or a DIT specific cart, you may need to look in other directions, but I think you can get it done with this cart. So that is one of the drawbacks of this cart, is the modular components that are available for some of the other carts out there. The next thing I want to talk about is the accessibility of this cart. You can get this cart on Amazon, B&H, or on the Proaim website, plus a variety of other vendors. I purchased this from B&H and got it in 2 days, which is fantastic. Innovativ is a little bit more limited on where you can purchase this cart. I think you can find it on B&H, but typically you have to purchase from the Innovativ website. Now, although I purchased this cart from B&H, the accessories I did get from Proaim, and the second that I purchased those, I got an email from them and a follow-up email a couple of days later to let me know where I was with the tracking process. And then I got a support email asking me if I needed anything else, which I thought was a really nice touch in their customer support side. So my final thoughts on this cart for the money, it was a great buy, great purchase. I'm going to use the crap out of it. I love using this cart. I'm going to continue to use it, and I think it's a great buy. I am interested in the small rate cart to see what that breaks down to and what that looks like on set for maybe something that's a little bit smaller. I need like a 32-inch cart or something, but this cart does everything that I need it to do. So the TLDR of this cart is that I love it, and I think it was a great buy, especially for the money. And I think that it would suit most people very, very well that work in this industry. So tell me what you think. Have you used this cart? Maybe one of the Innovativs? Are you in the market for a cart? Let me know which cart that you're interested in looking at, and I'll let you know if I have experience with that or if I have a friend that used that cart, and I'll give you some information on that. All right, if you stuck around this long, you're probably really interested in purchasing the camera cart. So I'm going to show you a couple of my setups with audio and with camera. I do remind everybody that this is a small channel. I'm not sponsored by anybody to say any of these things. If you found this video helpful, show a little support, hit the subscribe button, and maybe give me a like or a comment. Testing 1, 2, 3, check. Testing 1, 2, 3, check. Test.